Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Toya and I'm here to give you my 2 cents on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 4, Episode 5. So the episode starts out by picking up where we left off last week with Pimpin' and Kyrie still going at it. By now, Kyrie's mom, Lily, is in the middle and Diamond is in the middle of both of these guys and they're still like going back and forth with the yapping. Pimpin' is saying he'll flip this guy and this guy's over here laughing and giggling like Pimpin' ain't gonna do like Pimpin' ain't gonna do ish. So after that, Diamond and Pimpin' walk outside and they basically go out there so Pimpin' could cool off and get himself together. And I have to say, I like their exchange that they had outside. It was very mature of them, seeing that their reputation states that they're always toxic and they can never get along and keep it together for too long. So they're outside and she explains that, this went down because this guy was a little bit flirty coming over there asking me about my 32 flavors. And I told him, yeah, I taste like that. But she says that she admits that she knows how that could have come across to someone. And, she could have done something better in that moment. And Pimpin' received it. They hugged and made up. And it was nice to see. So then they go back inside the party. And back inside the party, Deb is finally now meeting Kyrie for the first time. As soon as she meets this boy, Deb again staying true to form. Oh, I have a project for you. You never said 2 words to this young man. So then you're telling him you have a project, but then you're also giving him a pep talk. So you're telling him, and things is not going to be handed to you because of who your mother is. You're not going to get things handed to you on a silver platter. And I'm like, you just handed him something, Deb. Anyway. After talking to Kyrie, Deb now gathers everyone else from the cast. And she's letting them know that she has this We Are the World type project where she wants everyone to write their verses on a song or an EP talking about what's going on in the world today with COVID, with Black Lives Matter, with, all of that, which sounds great. And Bow Wow agrees in front of Deb that he'll be a part of this project. However, Bow Wow sees himself as already a legend and all of these other people that are on the project, with the exception of the Brat and maybe Diamond, but all these other people on the project are fresh faces, they're newbies, they don't have any footprints in the industry. So him being on that project is just going to help it and not help him. And I have to say, as much as I give Bow Wow, he's not wrong. I might have not said it the way he worded it, but he's not wrong. And a lot of people seem to agree with him as we get further in the episode. So we get to this cute little place called the Sippin' Plant. At least that's what I think it's called because that's what I saw written on the wall in the background. So it's Ree, Shania, and Buku meeting up at this place, and they're, tasting wine and planting plants. So while they're doing that, they're talking to each other, and Shania brings up the fact, they're having some COVID discussion. So Shania brings up the fact that her and Ayanna's relationship is what it is right now because Ayanna didn't reach out to her for her birthday, and she didn't reach out to her for her graduation. Like, how long are you going to hold on to this? How important, everybody's birthday is important to them, don't get me wrong. But at the point when this girl is dying on her deathbed because she had underlying conditions, we didn't know that she was going to make it out of this. She didn't know that she was going to make it out of this. You didn't know that she was going to make it out of this. So how can you still be going around basically having a rally about this? Everyone you come into contact with, you give this story to. And I understand that you upset her and she didn't talk to you for whatever reason. Well, not for whatever reason, because you were ignorant to her sexual preferences and her lifestyle. And because of that, you made some ignorant comments which pissed her off. So my thing is, if you pissed her off, aren't you supposed to be the one reaching out? I mean, you did say, like, you know, you apologized or whatever, but maybe that girl was sitting in sorrow and not ready to accept your apology. But now that she was laid up on her deathbed, what was stopping you from reaching out? You're going around telling everybody that also goes around her that you don't talk to this girl and this is why. Grow up. I like you, Shania, but I didn't like that. So now Ree is saying her side about the beef with Ayanna. And Ree saying that her beef with Ayanna stems from the fact that she went on Twitter to defend Brandon. You know, back when Brandon was on the show telling lies to everybody. And she's explaining that, you know, Brandon is her friend and she just wanted to defend him because she knows that his relationship with Ayanna was a lot different than what Ayanna's putting on. She saw text messages in his phone saying how much she loves him and all of this. So why was she going so hard on Twitter? And my thing is, be careful who you riding for so hard, because you might see people, you might, you know, gravitate to them more than others. But Brandon is a known and proven liar. Like, can you not remember him telling everyone that he was going to be a firefighter? Did you not remember Waka wanted to jump across the table and crucify this man? Like, pump your brakes, sweetie. Plus, at one point, Brandon was considered family. So this was a family matter. Granted, it was on Twitter, but it wasn't your place, even though it was on a public platform. Am I making any sense? Drop down in comments and let me know if you agree. So then Buku inserts her 2 cents that she has a single out and, you know, she's very proud of it and she is so glad in the direction she's going musically. And she can't wait for Deb's project. And, you know, it could potentially take her career to a whole new stratosphere. And I'm like, you know, Bow Wow said it later in the episode. I have not heard a note from Buku. Like, I don't know. You need, I don't know. You barely talk, sis. How you gonna sing to us? How you gonna... Choose your words, Toya. Choose your words. Let's leave Buku alone. She didn't do anything to deserve this today. I was going to go in a direction that I was not going to be proud of. So I'm going to leave Buku alone. Okay? So while they're discussing the project, Shania, you know, also gives her 2 cents. Well, in the confessional, she's saying, you know, with people like Bow Wow on the project with a person like Ree, Ree's an up-and-comer. She's a brand new artist. She doesn't, you know, she hasn't had her feet wet. And Bow Wow is a whole legend out here. And, you know, he just might think that he is too much. He is, you know, top tier for this project. And he is not trying to be a part of it. So at least Bow Wow got some validation, even though it wasn't directly. He got some validation from another cast member because they also seem to agree with him. And everyone rarely agrees with anything Bow Wow says, even me. But he had a point today. And Deb should know better by now because Deb been in the music industry since before music was music. Since before a note was ever played, Deb was here running around with dinosaurs, using animal bones to make instruments. Deb been in this music industry, so she should know better than all the stunts that I've seen her pull in this episode. But let's move on. DJ Hurricane finally gets to see his daughter, guys, and it was so good for me to see that because I saw, you know, when he first found out that she was diagnosed with COVID, that he was broken up about it. He went outside. He looked visibly distraught. He was not in a great place knowing his baby girl was sick. So now that she's all better, he got a chance to go over and visit with her. And while he was over there, when I tell you, Ayanna learned that lesson. Ayanna had a Lysol. She had a questionnaire at the door. She had sanitizing wipes. The entire time her dad was in her apartment, she never stopped cleaning, sanitizing, disinfecting, and wiping down. Atta girl. Round of applause for you. This COVID ain't no joke. And because you was next door to knocking on death's door, you learned your lesson. And good for you. So her and her dad talk, and she is letting her dad know that she felt like she's been in the house for a year, and she is excited and looking forward to going out. However, she's very apprehensive, with good reason, obviously. And now that she wants to go somewhere, she doesn't know where to go, who to go with, and how to do it all responsibly. So, after that, it was a cute little visit. He didn't stay over for long, and then he left. So Deb calls a meeting at the studio to discuss this We Are the World project that she's putting on, our We Are the World project. And the first people to show up were Diamond and Pimpin. And shortly after, Ree walked in. So while they're there discussing the project, Kyrie walks in. Now remember, the last time Kyrie and Pimpin were in the same room, a war almost erupted. So Pimpin is looking at him, he's looking at Pimpin. There's clear tension in the room. And, Deb kind of says, listen, this project is important. You guys need to agree to disagree. Put your BS to the side. Put your big boy boxers on. Pull them up tight. Make sure you lock that belt all the way in the third, fourth, and fifth loop if you have to. Like, get yourselves together and be grown men. And I've seen Kyrie do something for the first time since we got introduced to him that was pleasing to me. He actually introduced himself, I'm the new guy on the block, so forth, so on. And I could have accepted that. And apparently so did Pimpin, because they continued to talk afterwards. Not to each other, but in the studio in a general discussion. So one of the last people to walk in the studio was Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze walks in the studio and boom! Kyrie has a new crush. Last week Lily, his mom, said that he is girl crazy, and I was just thinking, this man is fresh out. Of course he's girl crazy. How can you not understand that? But now I have to agree with your mom, because first you was crushing on Diamond, and Pimpin almost jumped on you because of that. Diamond and Johnny Blaze are completely different in so many ways. Body type, body size, I guess that's the same thing. Personalities. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it doesn't seem like you have a specific type, which is also cool. But every time we've seen you, so far we've seen you twice, and both times you're crushing on someone else. Focus on the music. Not that we're going to listen to it, but just focus on the music. And I hate that stupid giggle that he has. Oh, I'm not one to talk. I know my voice is annoying, but that giggle irks me. So, back to the discussion about the project. So, Pimpin wants to produce because, he hasn't been an artist or wasn't an artist for a while. He was working on Bow Wow's project with him. He has been in the producer's space, wearing a producer's hat for a while. So he thinks he knows a thing or two. And Deb shuts that down. Deb is like, we're going to go in some other direction with that. And Pimpin pushes even further and says, this is a collaborative issue. So from a producer standpoint, I just want to see your vision. Can you give us something? What kind of streaming platforms is this going to come out on? And Deb stops the conversation and say, this is the problem with artists nowadays. They want to be the boss. You should focus on being an artist, creating the music, and I'll worry about everything, behind the scenes. Diamond, I already saw written on her face, all over her facial expression, was she was not feeling what Deb was saying. And in that moment, if she had spoken up, I would have probably said, now, Diamond, hold on, because up until last week, you and Pimpin weren't together, and now all of a sudden, he is having a little heat come his way, and you're ready to, jump on somebody for him. But they're right. Pimpin is right to ask the questions. You're supposed to ask questions. I mean, I'm not an artist, but it's just dumb to go into any type of a project not knowing what it's about. You get a general idea or a basic idea, but asking any question, all questions are forbidden. That's some suckish. That makes me wonder, why is Deb holding this so close to the vest? Are you trying to make a little bit of change off of this? Are you raising some money for a Trump rally? What are you doing, Deb? What are you doing? Talk to us. Give us your 2 cents on the project. So, Pimpin, Bow Wow, and BT decide to meet up to do some axe throwing. And while they're there, they discuss Pimpin's birthday. Apparently, Pimpin has they discuss BT's birthday. BT has an upcoming birthday, and BT says, I want to do something this year I have never done, and he reveals that that's paintballing, and Bow Wow does not think that idea is sexy. Bow Wow just wants to be between cheeks all the time. Bow Wow does not want to go paintballing and is not interested. So while they're in the middle of this discussion and Bow Wow is doing a birthday takeover, Yanna shows up, and remember, she was telling her dad she hasn't been out, so this is her first time out, and she's out to see the guys. So when she gets there, Bow Wow corners her about BT's birthday, saying, do you want to go paintballing where you're going to get shot at and bruised up and playing in dirt and blah, blah, blah? Or, I don't think he got to an or. What happened? Anyway, so they start going down the list of who all would be invited to this paintball extravaganza. And they, list off the usual suspects, and they get to Ree's name. And Yanna made a facial expression or some type of expression. I didn't see it. I wasn't looking at the TV screen. But it was enough for the boys to notice. So they're like, what's tea with Ree? What's the problem? And she explains to them her side of the story that Ree's been telling us. That she came on Twitter, not minding her business, not drinking water and minding her business. So she doesn't feel like it's necessary for her to make up with someone she was never friends with. And she's absolutely right. If I was never friends with you, you talked out the side of your neck to me, I talked out the side of my neck to you. What do we need to make up for? Can't we just move on with our lives at that point? Because we don't owe each other anything. But like I said, I think Ree was just being too extra, a little bit too much, like salt and water. Too much. Team too much. So now we get to a scene with the Brat and Diamond. They met up for a cute little juice date, I guess. Not date, but to catch up. So they're catching up, and they decide to dig into the personal first. So Brat, still happy, love, joy. She says she doesn't even want to start talking about love now, honey. She has enough love for her and everyone else in the world right now. That's how much love Brat got. So she is discussing. Then it was Diamond's turn to speak about her love life. So Diamond is explaining her frustrations because she is in a business relationship with her partner. So she's saying, both things can never be balanced. If the business is good, the relationship is bad. If the relationship is good, the business is bad. And, she still thinks Pimpin is a great guy and everything, and she loves him to her core, but sometimes they just don't get along. And that just spells big D to me. That just lets me know that Pimpin is packing, because if you guys are so toxic and you never get along for too long and all this, that, and the third, you gotta be swinging at Pimpin. You gots to be. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. So Diamond tells the Brat, fills her in about what happened in the party between Pimpin and that other guy, Kyrie. And, because as soon as that started brewing, Brat took her lady and was out of there. All you saw was two big booties going through that door. Diamond also tells Brat about this project with Deb. And, of course, Brat does not know anything about this project that Deb told everyone she would be a part of. And she was discussing her disdain for how Deb handled their last meeting. Saying that they should just focus on being an artist, not worry about the business. And she's saying, she's not a newbie to this. She's been in this business for a while, and you can't just look at someone as experienced as she is and tell her these things, because it's not happening. So Brat agrees that Deb should have never been telling them that. And then Brat starts to question who all is on the project. So Brat hears her name and goes. Brat is wondering who that is, because Brat never, had a conversation with Deb about this, agreed to do anything about it, even heard her talking about it in passing. This is new news to the Brat. So then Diamond continues down the list and gets to Johnny Blaze's name. So Brat is like, if I was not gonna not do this before, I'm definitely not doing it now. She tells Diamond she does not mess with Johnny Blaze at all. She tells her Johnny Blaze is disrespectful. She is this Bow Wow. She is this Deb. She is this Jermaine Dupri. She is this Jermaine Dupri's studio, his mama. She's this the Jermaine Dupri's car. She's this his everything. And the Brat was like, listen, I am an ex-con. I have been to prison and I do not wish to go back there. So people know better than to put me in a room with Johnny Blaze, because she mess around and adds me to her list of disrespect. I'm probably going to end right back up in prison. So let's just not do this. This project is dead in the water. Brat also doesn't want to do the song because she shares the same sentiments as Bow Wow and Shania. She's saying that, listen, at this point in her career, she's a whole legend. Bow Wow is a legend in his own right, and if they're on the project with a bunch of no names, nobodies, non-factors, then how is this gonna work? So now another day rolls around and there's another meeting about this We Are the World project, and they're meeting up in the studio, but they're all there this time waiting for Deb. Or not all. Bow Wow's there. Brat is there. Don't remember who else. And Pimpin'. So the Brat goes in first and she's talking to Ree. And you know what? I have to say that it was good to see that, because Ree really rubbed Brat the wrong way. They kissed and made up last week, and it's good to see that Brat is now following through with not keeping the beef going, because when Brat dismisses you, you are dismissed, hunty. She doesn't want to talk to you again, and she doesn't want to see you, and she will walk out an event just to not have to do any of those things. So they're all there waiting on Deb. Deb finally walks in, and she sees Bow Wow, she sees the Brat, and she is clearly pissed. She says that, she didn't want to call them in yet. She didn't want to announce it yet. She wanted to get all the newbies together and in check before she introduced this idea. So now that she sees them, especially the Brat there, she is not too pleased, because she also invited Johnny Blaze to the studio to discuss this project, and Johnny and Brat cannot be in the same vicinity. So she wasn't too pleased about that, and they move on and start discussing the project anyway. So Deb is explaining to the Brat that, you know what, I was going to call you, or I tried to call you about this. Brat was like, lie. That is not the truth. Survey says you're wrong. I haven't heard from you in about a month worth of Sundays. What are you talking about, Deb? So Deb goes further into explaining that this project is like a We Are the World type of deal and all of that. And Brat says, let me tell you something. You know what all those We Are the World type songs have in common? Star power. The only stars I see in here is me and Bow. The only stars I see in here is me and Bow. So how is this project going to be carried? And Deb is like, oh no, you don't have to work with them. You could do your verse and then they come in and do theirs. And Brat was like, listen, don't play stupid. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm on this project. So I'm the one that's going to be lifting them up and carrying this project, right? And Brat drops one of the greatest lines I've heard on this grown-up hip-hop. Brat said, if I'm up ain't gonna be beneficial to me, then I'm not gonna be beneficial for free. Listen to that one more time. If ain't gonna be beneficial to me, then I ain't gonna be beneficial for free. That should be written down somewhere and put on a t-shirt. Yes, Brat, don't be beneficial for free out here. Not in these 2021 streets. Nuh-uh. Anyway, guys, that's where the episode ended. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye!